Hello and welcome to the Anime Madness Wormhole. I am your host, HenDiddy, and tonight I am joined with Killer Cup 412.
Hello.
And tonight we're talking about the One Piece live action that aired this week. No spoilers ahead, not going to get into the details of any of the changes or any of the plot happenings other than like the original, like the stuff that was original in the manga and anime. We'll talk about as comparing and contrasting, but anything that is new or only for the live action, we will not be talking about this week because no one else has seen it but me, at least in our group. So,
Yeah.
no spoilers for the live action itself. But to start off, I mean, these are five amazing actors who depicted the Straw Hat Pirates. Going from left to right, we have Taz Skylar playing Sanji. We have, I believe it's Jacob Romero. Can't remember his last name. I know that's stupid of me. I should have it already.
Mm.
It ails. Yeah, Jacob Romero playing Usopp. We have Ineki Godi playing Monkey D. Luffy himself. Emily Rudd playing Nami. And Makienyu playing Rono Zoro. Now, if you've heard Makienyu's name before, I wouldn't put it past you. He played in all the live action Rurouni Kenshin movies, among other Japanese films as well. And this is the parallel between their characters. It sounds like someone's lighting off fireworks by me.
I hear it by me.
This is weird.
I bet. Sounds like fireworks are going off outside.
Is it like rapid fire?
It was for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
it just started being like um here, there,
And it just
and
stopped
then
here. It went like rapid fire, big boom, then like rapid fire again.
I didn't hear the rapid fire, but I would assume it was in between the big booms.
Weird. Very weird. Oh well. But we have him portrayed here. Of course, it has the post time skip next to him, which isn't bad, but it is pre time skip that the live action is taking place in. Ineki gives off nothing but Luffy vibes. Like Ineki was perfect pick, and of course all the castings were done by Ichiro Oda himself. So that's pretty cool that like, and I remember I did see a interview with someone from the Netflix team, and well, I think they're from Tomorrow Studios actually. They did a clip of, I believe it was Nami asking for help. They sent it to Oda. Oda said, "Nah, do it again," and they went back and did it again.
It wasn't
Very,
released without his approval.
yeah.
Like
Nothing was like, someone in Netflix said this as a joke, but like I wholeheartedly believe it. No one on set could breathe without Oda's permission. Is pretty much how they were describing the way Oda was overlooking this.
you breathed the wrong way. Do it again.
And like, I think that overshadowing presence that Oda had is the reason it broke the live action curse of anime. Like, it crashed Netflix. It held an audience score of in the 90s for over a day, with a with the critics score being in the 80s still on Rotten Tomatoes. IBDM has it at, what is it on IBDM? IMBD, I mean. It's an 8.5 on IMBD. Like, you don't see any other live action animes doing this. Like, episode 8, Worst in the East, its episode rating is a 9.2. Like, do you know anything else that is putting numbers up like this for the live action in the anime scene?
Sorry, my mic is muted. Um, I was talking to you too. um, no, I don't think any other live actions. Like I've heard so many bad reviews about the
There's only,
DBZ live action.
oh, Evolution. Ugh. That is one of the worst. The only other live action, and I didn't even know it was a manga to live action adaptation until until like this came out and they were comparing it to this, but movie with Tom Cruise, Edge of Tomorrow. For those who don't know, the Live Die Repeat Edge of Tomorrow movie with Tom Cruise is actually a live action adaptation of the manga All You Need Is Kill. I didn't know that until people were talking about the One Piece live action, comparing it to it, because Edge of Tomorrow did really good in theaters. Like,
Oh,
did it
wait,
amazing.
it went from a manga to live action.
It's not the only one to go straight to live action without an anime. Um, there's another one called Sweat and Soap, which is a josei. It went straight from manga to live action as well. And it's a live action Japanese TV series that you have to use like some backwater sites to watch. It's not available in the US.
Hmm.
But getting back to the actors, Ineki had a 10 out of 10 performance as Luffy. He brought that Luffy energy, and he got to meet Oda and go in the Oda studio and have an interview. If you want to watch that interview, it is on the Netflix's YouTube, I believe. And Oda crowned him with a straw hat from his office, like one of Oda's personal straw hats.
It must have been pretty dope and
Yeah.
exciting.
Then we have Maki Inu as Roanoa Zoro. Maki Inu has been a fan of One Piece since he was a little kid. He's been part of One Piece since it started. Basically, he's loved it. He's a Japanese, born in California in Little Tokyo. He's very big in the Japanese movie industry, and Oda was like, "There's no other person I want for Zoro." Um, Emily Rudd, I can't. Out of all five on the screen right now, Ineki, Makienyu, Emily, Jacob, and Taz, Emily Rudd had the best performance out of all five of them.
I've heard of her before.
She's been a fan of One Piece for a very long time as well. I believe she said she got into One Piece right around when Saba Odi was first coming out. So that's right around 2008, 2009. She turned in a stellar performance as well. I don't think, I don't think anyone else on here put in a better performance than her when it comes to the Straw Hats. And I think I'm mainly saying that because, at least in the East Blue, Nami's character is the one with the most emotional distress out of all five of them. So she had to put in a lot of work for that. And don't get me wrong, all of them put in a lot of work. Um, Jacob Romero, now, didn't have the long nose that Usopp is known for, but it didn't matter. Anytime he was on screen, he was funny, and that's Usopp's
You know
character.
why Emily Rudd's name seems so familiar?
You
Have you
think
ever watched the movie Moonshot?
Moonshine?
Moonshot.
Moonshine? I don't think so. Is she in that?
So, yeah, she was casted in that. Um, Who else is in it?
That's from just last year.
Uh huh. I'm trying to pull up the cast real quick.
Cole Sprouse was in it
Yeah, Cole
from,
Sprouse,
but he's
Lena
Zach and
Condor,
Cody.
Lucas Cage. Then there's Emily Rudd. She was Jeannie.
Genie, okay. So do you know the content creator Straw Hat Goofy?
Straw Hat and Goofy.
Yeah, that's his TikTok name, and he actually does like red carpet interviews for TikTok as well. Um, when the live action One Piece first came out, like the trailers and stuff last year, he was at the Oscars and he was talking to what the hell is her name? I think it's Tommy Lee Curtis. No, why can't I think of her name?
Hmm. I don't know.
I know her favorite One Piece character is Tony Chopper,
Mm-hmm.
and she wanted to play Robin. Was her dream to play Robin, and she said she probably won't be able to do that. And people are saying that they want her to play Kureha, the one who raises Chopper. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. And she's all for playing Kureha. So if we get a season 2, we better see Jamie Lee Curtis on that cast list. With that said, the man who's probably put in the most work out of these 5 characters, Taz Skylar. Man went to a culinary school to get closer to Sanji. He did so many kickboxing lessons, and we lost the swirly brows, which not mad at that, but
I mean, you can't really match every single
no, you can't.
detail.
Usopp's nose is understandable. Don't want to. I can understand because that's probably gonna be a heavy, big prosthetic on his face for that. Not mad at that.
Right.
The swirly brows on Sanji, I do have a little bit of an issue with that because one of the biggest like back and forth between Sanji and Zoro is Zoro calling him swirly brow or twirly brow, while Sanji calls Zoro mosshead.
Well, does he still have the scar on his face for Zoro?
So that's post time skip.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's the thing.
Like both of them?
The only one that's pre time skip is Nami. So and
Okay.
that's just how Sanji's eyebrows are. That's how his family's eyebrows are. Um, but I'm not mad. Taz looks great as Sanji, and I love people were getting on it. Oh, why is he gotta have a British accent and all this? And I'm like, bro, it works. I love, and if you don't like the sound of his voice, the original Japanese voice actors dubbed it in Japanese. Like Mayumi Tanaka voiced Luffy, and so on for the Japanese voice actors for these 5, and for everybody else, like Garp's voice actor and all that. Moving on, Axe Hand Morgan. They did him really well. Now he didn't have the like axe handle coming out of the back of his elbow, but other than that, costume design and everything was perfect. Who played Axe Hand again? There you go.
Kirkwood.
Langley
Langley
Kirkwood.
Kirkwood.
He he pulled in another stellar performance. You can see the passion that like the actors have with the series as well, especially in the Straw Hat Crew. You can see the passion that they have for this series in their acting, and it was amazing. Um, Not much differences between them. His uniform was slightly different, but overall, I'd give so I'd give Luffy being Inaki being Luffy a 10 out of 10, Makienu being Zoro 10 out of 10, Emily Rudd being Nami 10 out of 10, Jacob and Taz as Usopp and Sanji 10 out of 10s. All five of them get a 10 out of 10 for their performances that they put in. Coming to Langley, I give him a 9 out of 10. There were a couple moments where it's like, that doesn't seem like Axe Hand though. But he still pulled it off great.
Well, you also got to realize that if it didn't seem like Axe Hand, do you really think they would have aired it?
True. That is 100% true. And it could be the Axe Hand that Oda wanted to convey. I mean, it is like Axe Hand Morgan came out 26 years ago
Mm-hmm.
in the manga. So the reason it didn't seem like Axe Hand to me is because I have that input of Axe Hand 26 years ago, and this is Axe Hand now.
Yeah, so I mean, like either way, you're rating the other five, 10 out of 10, 10 out of
That's
10, so on and so forth. You would expect them to be 10 out of 10 because if they weren't 10 out of 10, Oda would have changed that.
especially for the main five, Luffy, Zoro,
Mm-hmm.
Nami, Usopp, Sanji. For those five, like they had to be like over a 10 out of 10 for Oda to greenlight it. Now, don't get me wrong. We did get a couple extra scenes of Axe Hand, is all I'll say, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. But the next character, though, this one, Monkey D. Garp, played by Vincent Reagan. They blew this out of the water with Garp, and especially with his number two in command, Bogart, who is played by Armin Alcamp. Yeah, Armand Alcamp. They gave Bogart so much more screen time compared. We got him in a chapter for the first time in 17 years. It's the first time we got Bogart in 17 years in a manga chapter. Um, but everything related around Garp, they knocked out of the park. His scar was a little difficult to see. It
The
blended.
image you have now, I can't even see
Yeah,
it.
you can't see it because it's on the other side of his eye, but they blended it to where it's like it's barely noticeable. Like you really have to look at it with a keen eye just to see it, which isn't a bad thing. Like Luffy's is kind of the same way, but at least in the close-up shots of Luffy's face, you can clearly see his scar. Um, they had they had so many extra scenes with both him and Bogart. I feel like Oda really wants to get Bogart in the main story again, and that's why he was so prevalent in the live action.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they did Garp's storyline for the East Blue was way different than before. But once again, I'm not going to spoil anything that happened. I'll just say it's way different than before, and I wasn't expecting it, but it was still amazing. And Langley, hats off. Other than Emily Rudd, Langley had one of the best performances. And there's only one other. There's four people, five actors total that I'm putting top tier best performance of the entire thing. Emily Rudd and Langley are two, and Taz. Those are three of the five. Taz Skylar, Emily Rudd, and Langley are insane performances. Next we have, where is his name? Morgan Davis playing Kobe. we got a lot more out of Kobe again. Like a lot of the Marine characters, we got a lot more of than we did in the original. Um, Freaking Morgan Davis was no different. He pulled off Kobe to a T. I would give Morgan Davis a solid 8, mainly because, and I know this is the way he was written, because it's the way East Blue Kobe was. But it was his interactions with Helmeppo and Garp felt a couple times felt a little lackluster. Like Morgan wasn't fully in the moment.
Hmm.
And then there was a lot of times where it was like that, but half of them were like, okay, that's how Kobe would have reacted in that situation. Like he wasn't in the moment type thing. But the other half where it was like he wasn't in the moment just didn't feel right to me. Still not a bad performance. Portrayed Kobe pretty freaking well. I wish I could have found one that actually had him in his Marine get up, though. Now the next ones though, there's another actor on here that is part of that 5 top tier performances. And but starting at the top left, we have McKinley Belcher III playing Arlong. Now, when we did the trailer on One Piece Day, when we did the Wormhole on One Piece Day, I believe it was me, Tony, and Kush. I gave a lot of content to Arlong's character design with the way his nose is. That was the biggest takeaway. His nose. It didn't scream Arlong. Going and watching, and after watching it though, yeah, the nose is still a little off to me, but his character was so well good, so well done, and I feel McKinley actually portrayed Arlong better than Arlong was portrayed in the manga. And I know a lot of that goes to the cosmetics team as well, and for doing his get up, because that's probably a lot of preparation for him for his get up. And all the fishmen looked great. Like, let's go to break screen real quick. Let me see if I can find an image of the fishmen. Ba, ba, ba. Not many screenshots of just a fishman. So couldn't find any image of the rest of the fishmen, but I did find an image of anime Arlong versus the live action Arlong, and as you could see the difference in the noses.
Yeah.
You can see the difference in the nose. It's that was my biggest takeaway on his character design. Everything else about him was perfect. I love the adding of the chains. I feel that really fit Arlong's character with the way he is, especially about Barry.
Yeah. But you also got to understand, it's going to be hard to exactly match
Yeah.
everything with an anime character or a manga character. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's all drawn or CGI or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I get that
all of this
completely.
is cosmetics, and with how it looks, I mean, it's another form of art, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because they handmade that.
Yeah, and like I said, yeah, that was my biggest takeaway. But I can't take away from the actor or the cosmetics team. They still did a phenomenal job, and that's why I was trying to find a screenshot of the rest of the fishmen because the rest of the fishmen looked amazing. Um, Next to him, we have Gold D. Roger. Who played Roger? There we go. Michael Dorman. Oh, before we go on the Roger, one last thing about Arlong, and it is a slight spoiler, but I do have to talk about this because this actually did kind of peeve me off while watching it. It was during Nami's flashback in the manga and anime. Bellamere has a actually brawls with Arlong and gets Arlong on the ground with a gun in his face. We didn't get that in the live action, which sucks, but it's understandable. That was one of the best moments in Nami's flashback,
Hmm.
and we didn't get it. I'm not complaining too hard about it, but it is something I did want to get off my chest because that was a great scene. Sucks we didn't get it, but I can understand not getting it because that would have been a lot of extra choreography to get to that point.
I mean, how long did it take them to make it?
This was in production for 7.5 years, and each episode had an average budget of 17 million, which passed Game of Thrones by like 5 million.
Hmm.
So they went all over. They were in Cape Town, South Africa. They were in Italy. They were in Egypt. They were in other parts of the Mediterranean. They went all over the place to film this. Like I believe Arlong Park was done in Cape Town. Shellstown was done in Italy. It was massive. And then Michael Dorman playing Gold Roger, I felt like it was Roger. Like it wasn't Michael Dorman playing Roger. Like it was just Gold Roger. That's how well of a performance he put in. Next one is another is the what I had Emily, Taz, fourth one on our list of outstanding beyond recognition performances, and that is Stephen John Ward, the person who played Dracula Mihawk. And I'm saying this, I don't even have an image of the fifth person. Here we are. All right, but the fourth on that outstanding list is Stephen John Ward, who played Dracula Mihawk. Insane performance, Cosmetics team get another W with Mihawk. And whoever this man's barber is, give him a raise. Because that is actually Stephen John Ward's actual facial hair. He actually grew it and had it trimmed to that while they were filming this.
Hmm.
He played the character perfectly. There was a TikTok going around that had his fight with Zoro 1-to-1, like the live action versus the anime playing at the same time. And he did not do Mihawk dirty. He did Mihawk great. His voice was beautiful for Mihawk. Like, I kind of liked his voice better, like Stephen John Ward's voice for Mihawk, than the actual voice of Mihawk.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one on this screen, we have Peter Gadot. Gadot? Gadiot. Don't know what the proper pronunciation is for that. But he is playing Shanks. And I mean, he did great. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with this, and I'm saying it for every character, but it's just truth. Like they did great. Every actor did amazing. There's not much more I can say. Like, he portrayed Shanks perfectly, and the rest of the redhead pirates as well, like Lucky Roo, Ben Beckman, Yasop, all the guys that played them. So where are they? We have Steve Mark, who played Yasop. I don't even want to pronounce his name. I know I'm gonna freaking butcher it.
Who is it?
It's the guy who plays Lucky Roo. I'm sending it to you on Discord now. I'll say his middle name and last name, but Morgan
Holy.
Kutu. I'm pretty sure he's. I want to say he's African. Like, with a name like that. Yeah, he's born in Johannesburg, South Africa. He was amazing. Out of all the red hairs, he was probably my favorite performance put in. And he was Lucky Roo. Then you had Laudo Liebenberg played Ben Beckman. They all did amazing. Everyone on Red Hair's crew. Next is probably, other than Emily Rudd, this was the best performance I could have ever asked for. Jeff Ward playing Buggy. Oh my god. Everyone in the trailer, everyone was dissing, like, oh, Buggy looks like this fearsome guy, but he's just a joke. He's a gag. And I'm like, he was a fearsome pirate until Luffy. Luffy turned him into a gag. So they nailed Buggy perfect.
He said, "Nah, bitch, you ain't scary. You a joke."
And I love, like, this is another slight spoiler, I'm sorry, but it's for Buggy. There is a cover series in the manga, so we don't get to see it in the anime, but it shows how Buggy and Alvida meet and team up to go against Luffy at Logtown. Well, Buggy doesn't get flown away off of Orange Island. And turns out Buggy and Arlong were actually working together, so Arlong gets him. Buggy actually detached his ear and put it in Luffy's hat. And basically, he meets up with Luffy again much sooner than Logtown. And literally, they turned Buggy into... for episode 2, Buggy was scary as could be. And instead of the villagers moving to the countryside, Buggy freaking enslaved them. and forced them to be an audience of his circus.
Hmm.
Amazing. And yeah, Luffy comes in, makes him into a joke, and he's a gag for the rest of the season. It was perfect. It was beautiful. Top tier performance by Jeff Ward. And the woman herself, the most beautiful on the sea, the most powerful on the sea, Alvida, played by. I'ma let you try this.
You're gonna have me try it.
Yeah. I can't pronounce a single.
Uh, Leah Asorles Paulina.
Yeah, her. She played Alvida. And I have a feeling it's what was meant for her role because it's who Alvida is, but her role, she was pretty mid. And that's all I really got to say about her. I mean, her performance wasn't bad, but she's not. She wasn't the greatest performance out of the whole series. Like, I don't know how else to put this without sounding like a complete and utter douche.
Go for it, man.
She was born in the
You already do.
Dominican. Fuck you. She was born in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Um, but like I said before, it's up to Oda standards.
Uh,
So
that's why I can't. I know I'm making complaints, and all my complaints are just like personal opinions that, even to myself, don't really matter because Oda said that's good, air it, and I can't complain. Like, I will make my own personal gripes, but in the long run, even myself, I don't care for them because Oda said the series was good and perfect to go.
well, maybe that's how he wanted her to be.
That's why I said before I made my complaint, like I have a feeling that's how her character was meant to be.
Yeah.
What was I looking at now? I'm gonna bring up another picture and I can't. Oh, now the way they brought in the bounty posters for this, like I have one. I only found one image of it, but the way they did it was insanely good. So this is Mihawk's bounty poster. Um, so they had them fly up on screen, and Buggy smacked it out of the way with his hand. Kuro sliced it with his claws. Mihawk sliced his in the four with Yoru. Don Krieg grabbed and crumpled his. Alvida smacked it out of the way with her freaking mace, and then Arlong bit and shredded his. It was so cool the way they did that. Basically the bounty posters were coming up for us as the audience to see, and then the characters would interact with them to get them out of the way instead of them just floating off the screen. I can probably pull up. Let me see if I can pull up a clip of like Arlong shredding his bounty poster. Here we go. Oh, I'm gonna mute that. So here it is. This is Arlong's introduction in the live action, and you can see Jeff Ward there as Buggy. It looks great. This is inside Buggy's circus tent. But this was Arlong's introduction, and you can see another one of the fishmen in the back. You see how they do that? Like that was amazing.
Yeah.
And that's how every bounty poster that gets brought up is done. It's And then here's an image of the Going Merry. I do have a complaint about the Going Merry. They made that goat's head too realistic. And you can see Garp's ship in the background with the dog figurehead. But that is just too realistic for my liking.
Mhm.
Like I'll pull up an image of the Going Merry. This is what the Going Merry looked like in the anime. And I mean, it looks, especially like this front on view, like why is its mouth open like that?
I
But
mean, that's a good question.
all everything looked. We had the King of the Coast. So this is what the King of the Coast looked like in the anime. I mean, it looked like a typical anime snake, like sea snake. This is what we got in the live action. And oh my god, was it beautiful looking. Like my biggest question is for when they go any further is these big giant sea kings like look at this manga panel here. You see the zebra one in the back? That's the Going Merry on its nose. The Going Merry is 13 meters tall, I believe, from bottom of the I can't remember. Bottom of the hall to the top of the mast is 13 meters, I believe. And it looks like an ant. And even the Thousand Sunny, the Thousand Sunny is 56 meters tall. The Sunny looks tiny compared to the Sea King as well. When we get into these larger beings in the Grand Line and future arcs, that's going to be my concern with the live action if it goes on that far. They do, as far as I know, once the writer and actor strike is over, we will be getting more One Piece live action. Like they'll make more. When that's going to be, I don't know. But they're gonna run into some problems, especially when they start doing like Logia fruits, like Smoker, Crocodile, the Admirals. Like they're gonna start running into issues. But I wish it well. Like I hope that it continues and does good. That's pretty much it for today. You got anything you want to say about the live action?
Uh, Not really, since I haven't seen it.
Does this make you want to go watch it?
I mean, I already wanted to watch it. So, but I do have a bit on my list.
I know you said you won't be here tomorrow for the bracket.
No,
Uh,
I will not.
do you want to at least see it? Special preview, and we get to get your votes for at least the
Oh,
first
so I can
round.
like pre-vote.
Pre-vote for the first round only, of course.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
I I mean, yeah, but we can't really get you pre-votes on the second and third rounds.
Yeah, but I mean, we can always like, if this person wins and if this person wins, who would you vote?
That would take
We've
a
done it before.
lot of time.
Yeah, but we've done it before.
So the first match for Adventures is Hunter x Hunter and Redo of Healer.
Crowley, Hunter, Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter. Then we have Suzume versus So What I'm a Spider. So I'm a Spider, so what?
Hmm. I don't really know much about him.
Suzume is a movie about. Oh, what was it about again? It's been a while since I watched it. Because I watched it in theaters and it's not out on streaming yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pretty much it's a fantasy adventure movie where this girl finds this dude that has this like they both have this special power, but she doesn't realize she has it, and they're on an adventure to basically find this door to close this like dimensional rift. And then So I'm a Spider, So What is an isekai where a whole class gets isekai'd and they each get various roles. Like the most popular girl in the class becomes a dragon familiar for the most popular guy in the class, and one of the lower end girls of the class becomes pretty much one of the most powerful beings in the entire verse from a spider.
Uh, so I'm a spider.
Okay. Then we have Maiden Abyss versus Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Jeez, didn't even give Maiden Abyss a chance.
Nope.
We have Heavenly Delusion versus Tsukamichi Moonlit Fantasy.
Um, Heavenly Delusion.
Then we have
Do you hear me?
Ranking. Yeah, I heard you.
Okay.
Ranking of Kings versus Eden Zero.
Eden Zero.
Then we have To Your Eternity versus Yona of the Dawn.
To Your Eternity.
Then we have Golden Kamuy versus Detective Conan.
Golden Kamuy.
And then match 8, we have One Piece versus I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too.
Gesundheit. One Piece.
Yeah, it's a one hell of a title. Right, so that's the sneak peek and Cope's votes because I don't think we have no honorable mentions this week. But that's the stream today. Thank you, Killer
And
Cope.
the winner will be One Piece.
Your
Calling it now.
your prediction is One Piece.
Yes.
All right,
Like,
I got you on tape.
if you
saying
think about it, if it was to go up against any other of the choices, who do you think would win?
I think the final is probably going to come out to be Pokemon versus One Piece.
I'd say that would probably be the hardest, like, fucking choice for people to vote for.
And I know me and Kush would probably vote One Piece, but I think Pokemon's going to win this. I mean,
Probably.
Digimon won Isekai, so I have a huge feeling Pokemon's going to win Adventure. So, but that's the podcast tonight. That's the Wormhole. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the links in the description. Get yourself some Rogue with the reference link or the Madness 5 at checkout. Join the Discord if you want. Check out Cope's Twitch and Twitter
I will be starting back up soon.
soon. Once he gets a new monitor, he'll be probably starting up.
Right now, I actually have a spare monitor that I somehow came across. I will not say. Um, and I got a spare headset from my wife that I'm using right now. So all I gotta do is one, find my capture card, two, get a camera. But I mean, I can start streaming without the camera. I've
Yeah.
done it before. I mean, I made it affiliated without a camera. So,
Yeah. So are we
but yeah.
making a Anime Madness Gaming, or are we just going through you?
Um, we can go through me. I can probably do a name change.
Yeah, that's what I did on my Twitch, and then we'll figure out later. We'll let everyone know what's going on if any of those VODs are going to be broken up to videos or clips on either like YouTube or TikTok.
Yeah.
We'll let y'all know that when that time comes. But in the meantime, go follow KillerCoat412 on Twitch.
Yes, sir. And don't forget, cop yourself some Rogue Energy.
Join the Rogue Nation with the code the Madness 5 at checkout to get yourself 5% off.
Yes, sir.
And we will, well, I will see you. Unfortunately, Cope will not be here tomorrow, but I will see y'all tomorrow for the best adventure anime. And stay tuned for the One Piece chapter 1091 and My Hero chapter 399 live react videos. I'm going to try to get those up on Monday and Tuesday on YouTube. We're going to try to record those tomorrow. But stay tuned for those. Have yourselves a good night.
Later.
Stay humble, get rumbled.
Almost forgot.
Goodbye, everybody.